Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, Mr. Erwin and Alfred. We from the English group Class A Electrical Engineering will be present about the different culture, about East meets South, exploring the cultural exchange between Indonesia and Japan. Okay, before we introduce ourselves, first, my name is Sefanur Haliza and my friend Farhan Aditya Fabian Rudiansyah, Romi Darmanto Manik, and M. Arif Rahman Hakim. Table of content, the first we explain introduction about overview of Indonesia and Japan. Second, different culture about traditional clothing, food, festival, and social etiquette. And the third conclusion, summaries of the discussed cultural difference.
Okay, Indonesia is an archipelagic country in Southeast Asia, known for its diverse and unique culture, consisting of over 17,000 islands with various ethnicities, tribes, and limits. Indonesia offers traditional clothes, distinctive cuisine, rich traditional social etiquette, and an education system that reflects its very remarkable cultural diversity. Japan is an archaeological location in East Asia, known for its rich cultural heritage and advancements in technology. Japan also possesses vibrant and unique culture that's reflected in its traditional codes, destiny, cuisine, rich tradition, social etiquette, and diverse educational system. This aspect uh, showcase the abundant cultural heritage of Japan.
Okay, second, we will explain about different culture Indonesia and Japan. Okay, next.
Traditional clothing. Traditional clothing of Indonesia. Traditional clothing in Indonesia reflects the diversity of culture in the country. Each region in Indonesia has its own unique traditional attire. Here are some examples of well-known traditional clothing in Indonesia. Next. Batik. Batik is a traditional Indonesian textile art produced by applying wax to fabric and then dyeing it. Batik features various distinct motifs and patterns from different regions in Indonesia. Some famous types of batik include Javanese batik, Solo batik, and Pekalongan batik. Kebaya. Kebaya is the traditional attire for women in Indonesia. It consists of a blouse designed with a distinct style and a sarung or long skirt worn at the bottom. Kebaya is often worn for formal occasions such as wedding and traditional ceremonies. Next, songket. Songket is a hand-woven fabric with gold or silver there motif. Typically found in Sumatra and some eastern regions of Indonesia. Songket is often used of bridal wear and traditional attire for important events. Next, traditional clothing of Japan, kimono. The kimono is the traditional clothing of Japan. Here is some additional information about traditional Japanese clothing. Next, yukata. Yukata is a more casual and lightweight type of kimono. Yukata is usually made of cotton and is commonly worn during the summer or at festival. Next, hakama. Hakama is a white and close-fitting pair of pants. It is worn by both men and women for formal occasions such as wedding and tea ceremonies. Next, obi. The obi is a weight belt used to secure the kimono or yukata. Obi comes in various design, material, and tying technique. Traditional clothing in Indonesia and Japan represent the cultural richness of both countries. These traditional garments are preserved and worn during traditional ceremonies and events. Next.
Second, we will explain the food different Japan and Indonesia. Okay, guys, Indonesia and Japan have distinct and diverse food culture. Here are some difference between their food cultures. Okay. One, spice and flavor. Indonesian cuisine is known for its vibrant and bold flavor. The use of spice such as turmeric, coriander, lemongrass, galangal, and chili pepper is prevalent in many dishes. The combination of sweet, sour, and spicy flavor is a common characteristic of Indonesian food. 2. Rice as staple. Rice is a staple food in Indonesia cuisine. It is typically served with various side dishes such as curries, stir-fried vegetable, fried tempeh or tofu, and sambal. Nasi goreng or fried rice dish is also popular in Indonesia. 3. Street food culture. Indonesia has a vibrant street food culture. You can find an array of snack and street food vendors selling dishes like satay, teku wet meat, gado-gado, salad with peanut, bakso, martabak, and mie goreng. Okay, next, Japan food. 1. Simplicity and freshness. Japan cuisine emphasizes the natural flavor of ingredients. Freshness and high quality ingredients are highly valued. These are often simple and deliciously prepared to showcase the natural taste of the main ingredients. 2. Seafood and seasonal ingredients. Japan is surrounded by the ocean, so seafood plays a significant role in the cuisine. Also, sushi, sashimi, grilled fish, and various seafood dishes are commonly enjoyed. Additionally, Japan's cuisine values seasonal ingredients, and these are often prepared to highlight the flavor of each season. 3. Noodle. Noodle are another important component of Japan cuisine. There are several popular types of noodle, including ramen, udon, soba, and somen. Each type has its unique characteristic and is often served in different broths of sauce.
Okay, the first topic it is a festival in Indonesia and Japan. Okay, the first one in Indonesia, this is Fasola, Justing Festival of the Sumba people, taking place every year in Warsumba. The Indonesian Festival of Fasola occurs in February or March every year. This is a justing festival in which participants ride horseback without saddle and attack other with wooden spear called hola. In fact, the word Fasola is derived from the word hola. According to legend, the festival is celebrated in the effort to help and local leader of Waiwang village forget the sadness of the wife leaving him for the new lover. It began as a justing festival that drew blood, but today it is more of the more battle. Pasola is celebrated by the Sumba people to ensure of prosperous harvest. Okay, the second Baunyale in Lombok. The Pesona Baunyale Festival is held every year on the 20th of the 10th month based on the Rawat Sasak calendar. This calendar system is traditional characteristic of the Sasak tribe on Lombok Island. The Baunyale ceremony is generally carried out at Segerbej, Mandalika, Central Lombok. The uniquely of the festival it is activity of looking for the world which are side to the incarnation of the Princess Mandalika. A little story behind the ceremony of the story Princess Mandalika, who threw help into the sea to avoid getting married. Famous from the charm, many princesses wanted to marry Princess Mandalika. The prevent conflict, Princess Mandalika jumped to the sea, and not long after, colorful rum appeared in the sea. The rum is the colored nyale. Well, they were both made to cat. Apart from looking for the chatting room together at night, the festival is also deepened by the various interacting activity. There is the election of the Princess Mandalika, culture dialogue, and culture art performance. Okay, this is from the Japanese. First one, Giant Matsuri. Giant Festival or Giant Matsuri, it is one of the three biggest festival in Japan. The existence of the festival has excited science 1,000 years ago, with the aim of the offering to the goods of an epidemic. The giant Matsuri is held from the full moon on July every year in Kyoto. In this festival, there are 33 the sea parade with the theme of Japanese legend. The atmosphere of the festival is very lively, especially at night after the lanterns are light. At this festival, there are also many Japanese specialties that can taste. Okay, the second Kanda Matsuri. There are two big agenda when this festival take place, namely Hon Matsuri and Kage Matsuri. At this big event, that will be parade with the theme of clothing from the Heian period, because the aim is survive the Heian period. Kanda Matsuri is one of the festival in Japan in spring, which is very busy and must awaiting by both local resident and tourism. You must see it when you are vacation in Japan.
Okay, social etiquette plays a crucial role in shaping the interaction and relationship within a society. So number 4 is social etiquette that aims to explore social etiquette practice in Indonesia and Japan, two diverse and culturally rich nations. So the first is etiquette in Indonesia. Number 1 is greetings. Greetings. Indonesians typically greet each other with a handshake, accompanied by a warm smile. Greetings in Indonesia are an important part of everyday interaction and reflect the warm and friendly nature of the nation people. It is common to use greetings like "Selamat pagi" in English is "Good morning." So terus next "Selamat siang" in English is "Good afternoon" or "Selamat malam" in English is "Good evening," depending on the time of the day. So hello is a casual and informal greeting similar to hello in English. And apa kabar is a common way to ask about someone's well-being. Okay, second is respect for elders is deeply ingrained in Indonesian culture. Let's explore the significance of respecting elders and the custom associated with it. So in this action of picture is called salim, also known as greeting by kissing the hand or offering a salute. Is common tradition in Indonesia as a sign of respect to elders for those who are considered to have a higher position. It signifies respect, appreciation, and recognition towards them. And third is personal space is another important aspect of Indonesian etiquette. Let's discover how personal space is respected in Indonesian culture. Indonesians generally value personal space and avoid unnecessary physical contact. It is important to be mindful of personal boundaries and not invade someone's personal space. The last is dining etiquette that plays a significant role in Indonesian culture, especially when sharing meals with others. Let's explore some key dining etiquette practice in Indonesia. When dining in Indonesia, it is customary to wait for the host or the eldest person to start eating before beginning your meal. It is polite to eat with your right hand and avoid using the left hand, which is considered unclean. Also, slurping or making loud noises while eating is generally not appreciated. Next, social etiquette in Japan. First is bowing. Bowing is an important aspect of Japanese etiquette. The depth and the duration of the bow can vary depending on the situation and the level of formality. A slight bow is common in casual situation, while a deeper bow is appropriate for showing respect or expressing gratitude. Bowing is an important aspect of Japanese etiquette. The depth and duration of the bow can vary depending on the situation and the level of formality. A slight bow is common in casual situation, while a deeper bow is appropriate for showing respect or expressing gratitude. Second is politeness. It is using honorific language such as arigato gozaimasu, and in English is thank you, and sumimasen. In English is excuse me. Is considered essentially in daily interaction. Next, respectful tone and volume. Maintaining a respectful tone and speaking in a calm and moderate volume is considered polite in Japanese culture. And the third is personal space. Japanese people tend to maintain a larger personal space compared to Indonesians. It is important to respect personal boundaries and avoid touching or standing too close to others unless you have a close relationship. And the last is table manners. Japanese table manners are highly regarded. It is customary to say itadakimasu before starting a meal to express gratitude. Chopsticks should be used correctly, and it is considered impolite to point them at others or leave them sticking upright in a bowl of rice. Also, finishing all the food on your plate is appreciated. Next.
Okay, the end conclusion. The difference between Indonesia and Japan in traditional clothes, foods, tradition, social ethics, and education provide a broader understanding of cultural diversity. This enriches our knowledge, teach us to appreciate the diversity. Broadens perspective, creates opportunities for learning and cultural exchange, and raises awareness of the cultural richness in the world.
Okay, thank you about your attention. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.